This is the most tardy Operation Broken Fang video that you'll ever see. So instead of simply saying what's in the operation, I'm going to explain how Operation Broken Fang is a roadmap for how we can save Counter-Strike. And what I would do if I were in charge, which I'm not. I know I secretly alluded to everything that was in the operation on my Twitter feed over the last month, but I can assure you, I am not secretly a Valve employee running a PSYOP. I've said too much! Greetings, TheWarOwl greets you. Condom Man. I go away for a week and that's what I miss. Condom Man. I don't know what happened to Counter-Strike's social media presence over the last couple of years, but I like it. Counter-Strike has always had its own culture, but not a cringe-inducing existential pain like other games. Condom Man is the apex of this. I can't imagine Epic Games or Riot Games would promote Condom Man in their sterile mass-market bore fests. What makes Counter-Strike special, beyond the gameplay, is that it's the community who is really running things. Valve is just along for the ride.
And to make millions and millions of dollars.
Look no further than the official Retakes game mode. Retakes is a community-made mod that practices Counter-Strike against other players in an environment that is closer to actual gameplay than deathmatch. If you've never played Retakes, it's a great way to practice. Basically, the bomb spawns planted, and the CTs have to do a retake and defuse the bomb. Over iterations and experimentation by the community, we've come up with the best way to practice Counter-Strike. Valve has taken that idea and added it officially into the game. They've also added their own twist to it with player loadout cards, which I think is a really great idea. Every round you get to choose what your loadout is. If you get an MVP the previous round, you'll get access to a better card. What Valve gets wrong here is deviating too far from the retake formula. In traditional retakes, in order to balance the game and allow players to get practice in from both sides, if a player gets a kill as the CT and the CTs win, they'll switch to the T side. It's expected that the game will naturally be defender-sided. In Valve's official retakes, no team switching occurs. Spawn points aren't optimized to mimic real gameplay, and the servers are 64-tick. The same problem exists in Valve's gun game clone, Arms Race. It's great that they copied a popular community game mode. I like the exclusive maps that were made just for the game mode, but their implementation has some flaws that could be easily fixed by just conforming more to what the community has figured out through decades of natural selection. Let's get into the meat and potatoes of the update.
Missions! New weapon skins and agents! Broken Fang stickers!
No, I'm speaking of course of the new competitive game mode, Premier Mode, which was a fantastic idea. With Premier Mode, you get access to a new way to track your stats. It's absolutely fantastic. I love how they set this up. Premier Matchmaking is something I have been suggesting for a long time, a premium competitive game mode with a map veto system. It feels like Counter-Strike is experimenting with this new game mode for a possible replacement to traditional competitive.
Listen, I know there's only one game on here. I recorded this as soon as I could get some footage. I'm a little behind on my work schedule right now, okay?
One thing I don't like about Premier Mode is the new scoreboard. They've hidden deaths on the second page and rank players based on total damage? How strange. I do think that ranking based on damage makes sense, but using ADR instead of total damage is a much better way to present the information. It's time Counter-Strike were treated as an esport. You don't have to baby the players. Think about baseball. Every kid who's into baseball understands what a batting average is. In a mode literally called Premier Mode that you have to click a big button that says competitive to get into, you hide deaths to make the player feel better and attempt to baby the player by presenting total damage instead of ADR. This is not the way. Along with Premier, there's 3 new official maps for Skirmish Mode, which is the unranked matchmaking. Ancient, which should be named DES Tech 2, Engage, which I can't say without doing my Captain Picard impression, and Apollo. I have words about the new maps. I'd like to go in more depth. Maybe I will in a future video. For now, quick synopsis. Ancient is well made. The visuals don't get in the way of the gameplay. There's nothing wrong with it at all, but it also isn't particularly special or interesting. Engage is interesting and special, and it looks absolutely fantastic, but there's major problems with the layout. There's too many entrances for the T's, and A site is just a mess with the upper area. Afterplant there would be pretty much impossible for the CTs. Apollo is a hostage map. There's also new official Wingman maps, which were picked from the Wingman mapping competition that I was invited to be a judge of. There's also a new snowy Danger Zone map, Frostbite, and the addition of the Danger Zone ping system to competitive. You can set up completely custom ping commands in the options menu and bind that to whatever you want, or you can simply bind player_ping to a key for the traditional ping system. It truly feels like Counter-Strike has benefited greatly from having competition. Calls in Counter-Strike are done verbally. It's a major part of the game. The ping system looks to be very useful for players who can't or won't use a microphone for whatever reason they have. This increases the accessibility of the game for people who may have physical disabilities or mental health issues. It also gives a new way to troll your teammates and be a dick. But I don't know, people could use it for ping enemy positions. I wouldn't. You could. Or show a player where you want the bomb planted? Like, this is the standard, look right here. I don't know, I'll be using it to troll. Operation Broken Fang is a huge collection of pretty much every type of content you could possibly imagine. This stuff is great for keeping the game fresh for the plebs. You gotta keep the plebs happy, because there's more of them. When you get in game and you're playing a competitive 5v5 match, Counter-Strike is an unmatched experience. It's the best tactical shooter by far, and the esports viewing experience is the best. The problems with the game are around the game, however big or small they are. It's absurd that we still have to play the game through third-party paid systems in order to play Counter-Strike competitively properly, where every other game, you play it directly through the game client, you press the button, and that's the competitive experience. Working anti-cheat that doesn't ban you for using OBS, and good quality 128 tick servers. These are the two reasons why third-party systems are superior to the in-game matchmaking. It looks like Valve is making steps to improve the matchmaking experience. There's the template there with Premier Mode. Premier Mode should replace Competitive Mode, and Competitive Mode should become Skirmish Mode. Skirmish Mode should match players against other players of equal rank, but not change the ranking at the end of the match. It's effectively practice. Premier Mode should have an active duty map pool that rotates. One of the biggest problems with Counter-Strike is the stale map pool. If we have 7 active duty maps and rotate them in and out with new maps, it'll force players to learn new maps. If you know how to play more maps, the veto system's gonna help you more. I think the veto system should be modified to increase map pick variety. Otherwise, we'll be playing Mirage and Inferno until the day we die. A good way to do this would be to veto 1 map at a time until 3 maps remain, and then have the system pick randomly from those 3 maps. Again, teams and players who take the time to learn more maps will have an advantage in the veto system, and they'll rank up faster. As it is right now, a player can learn a single map, such as Mirage, and only queue for that map, ranking up to Global Elite. If they try to queue for a different map in order to learn it and expand their own map pool, they'll be punished, because they're going up against other Global Elite players on a map that they don't know very well. This is where our new Skirmish game mode comes into play. If a team wants to specifically practice a single map to learn it, they can queue for Skirmish. If they want to really test themselves against other players and rank up or down, they can queue for Premier. I'd be happy with deleting Casual mode, deleting Demolition mode, and then reworking Deathmatch, Scouts Knives, Retakes, and Gun Game to be more in line with how the community servers are. But then again, I'm a sweaty tryhard. If people are playing those game modes and enjoying them, never forget, the most popular game modes in 1.6 and Source were no op, no auto, 16K start money. Hey, remember those highly popular and well-edited videos on my channel this year that took Counter-Strike and put a twist on competitive? Sure, it was simply taking stupid YouTube trends and applying them to our game, but something similar exists as an official game mode in Left 4 Dead 2 called Mutations. So while I'm suggesting things, I think it'd be a great idea to add that to Global Offensive. They already did something similar with War Games during Operation Hydra. It's where Wingman and Flying Scoutsman Scoutsman came from. I think that's proof that it's a good idea. Because Wingman and Flying Scoutsman were the most popular war games, they got added into the game as official game modes. It was an extra experimentation and willingness to throw ideas out there that may not exactly work that resulted in the game evolving to become even better. It'd be great to have a new unique game mode every week or fortnight that people could queue for. I'm sorry that I said fortnight. Look, it's the proper word to use in that context. Sure, this would probably take time and effort to do, which is why it probably won't happen. But hey, I'm making my wish list on how to fix Counter-Strike. Operation Broken Fang, really good, a lot of good stuff in there. And I can see the roadmap for the future of Counter-Strike hidden within. I just wish for one thing, that they didn't release it the 1 week in over 2 years that I was not at home. Am I paranoid? Am I paranoid? Does it feel like every update in some way is some kind of a joke at me? I think I'm going insane because of this. Thank you folks very much for watching. I am TheWarOwl, and I still have no closer. Condom Man.